Here's an interesting question from chat. Have you ever considered adding the trophy system? Because I noticed that has been probably pretty divisive. I know that I noticed it was missing. You know, and I've been adapting.
It is a World War II game.
Sure, and that it is a World War II game. This is a good answer.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel, and it has finally happened! We have ourselves an anime cat girl beatbox boombox purple pink whatever looking gun in our World War II shooter. I'm not even all that mad about it. I'm really not. I don't buy stuff from the shop. I know some people do, whatever. I know people are very against the idea of having stuff like this in their World War II shooter. Also completely understand that. But at the same time, I've talked about this in a couple of videos previously, but notice how the dev team is so like disjointed and disconnected that they talk out both sides of their mouth. On one hand, they took forever to add the trophy system into the game, despite the fact that the game was looking like this. The gameplay you guys are watching right here. They just refused to do it because it wasn't authentic. It wasn't World War II, you know, and then 8-9 months later, whatever it is, now the game is starting to wind down as we're preparing for Modern Warfare 2. We get the anime beatbox gun in the shop. I don't know what this thing costs. I'm guessing anywhere between $20 and $30. Regardless, the focus of this video here today is Infinity Ward needs to not do this the next time around. Like, if you're gonna have crazy shit in your game, and you know there's gonna be crazy shit in your game, stop limiting the base game so you can make more money later on. It's so frustrating when stuff like that happens. Look at Vanguard, for example. We had to suffer for months and months on end of thermites and fire everywhere. Like, you couldn't play the game half the time. The game would crash because there was so much fire rendering on the map at times. It was ridiculous. And we had to suffer through that for months because they wanted to hold on to this idea of realism in a Call of Duty game, for crying out loud. And then eventually they fixed it. Eventually they add the trophy system, I believe, as part of some season. I can't remember. And now we're getting anime guns on top of it. So why were we suffering? No reason. They just decided, you know what, we're going to hold on to this idea of realism and annoy the hell out of you for a couple of months and then throw that all out the window once we need to make more money with microtransactions and things like that. It's ridiculous. We had to suffer because of that like notion that they were going to keep the game authentic and down to earth and whatever, when in reality the plan was never for them to do that in the first place. And you look at a game like Modern Warfare 2, you look at what Infinity Ward may be doing with that game. We have so many examples in the past of the game devs making the game broken or boring or not rewarding in some cases, like chrome camo and things like that, because they want to keep the core feel of the game during that launch window. And then after they make all their money from the launch window, they want to make all their money from post-launch stuff, microtransactions, paid content, and things like that. And that's when they throw the idea of authenticity and realism and stuff like that completely out the window. And it's frustrating because, again, we do find ourselves in situations like we saw here with Vanguard, situations like we saw back during Call of Duty World War II, where you just had to grind and grind and grind for a camo that wasn't even all that good, just for them to eventually decide later on that you're going to have like animated Halloween camos and things like that being added to the game, you know? And again, don't get me wrong, I like the idea of cool cosmetic shit in your game. I think Black Ops 4 was really fun, not only because of the time to kill, feel free to disagree, but you know, I really enjoyed the time to kill. I didn't mind the specialist, but what was cool is Black Ops 4, and also to an extent Black Ops 3, like those games did not take themselves seriously because they were set in the future. You know, they were using weapons that didn't even exist. They were using crazy animated camos and mastercrafts and all these crazy variants and things like that, and people just kind of felt like it belonged because the game was set in, you know, I don't even know what year those games are set in, 2050, 2040, something like that. I really have no idea. But yeah, so it kind of just fit with the theme of the game, and it was fun as a result. And I don't mind unrealistic weapons. I don't mind crazy stuff coming to the game because it does make the game more fun. It makes it more interesting. But what does bother me is when the game itself at a core, like fundamental level, suffers because they want to talk out of both sides of their mouth and give us a situation where the base game that we pay for sucks and we have to like really drudge through it just for them to later on say, you know what, we take all that back. Sorry you guys had to suffer for all those months. We're going to finally add all the stuff you want us to add and even some more cool stuff in the shop. How about that? You know, it happens like almost every single year. And when it comes to a game like Modern Warfare 2, can we just avoid that entire step? Can we avoid the part where we have to drudge through boringness and whatnot? Like, I'm not suggesting that every gun in Modern Warfare 2 needs to be the anime beatbox gun. In fact, I hope it's not in the base game. I don't want the anime gun in the base game. But cool camos, man, cool weapon variants that you can earn, interesting stuff for you to unlock and enjoy within the base game that isn't reliant on microtransactions and things like that. Because at the end of the day, a lot of people are paying way more money than they probably should already for COD. They're increasing the price for it this year, and we shouldn't have to pay more to have some interesting stuff in the game that can be unlocked via our playtime. If you're talking about the idea of audience retention and things like that in the COD franchise, Activision's always going on and on about that to their shareholders. How about you make the core game fun? You ever think of that? Like, instead of having all these seasons and time gating our prestiges and things like that, like, just make the core game fun. That's all you have to do. The old COD games were fun. God, I feel old every time I make a video now, because it's so much like, back in my day, things were better, when realistically they weren't always better. I'm talking about like a case-by-case basis here. Certain things were good, certain things were bad. But, yeah, we have a situation like Vanguard here where, honestly, like, the reason why I stopped playing Vanguard, one, because of the long shots, but two, the core gameplay was freaking unplayably bad. Like, if you wanted to, like, go grind shipment or something like that to level up your guns, because you had to grind through 70 weapon levels for some reason, and it took forever and a half to get through those 70 weapon levels, even with all the double weapon XP tokens, which for some reason go based on the time you activate them to, you know, real life time as compared to being actual in-game time. Like, there's so many problems with the game that just really turned me off it. And nowadays, a lot of those problems are fixed. Not all of them. But you've already lost me. I made a video way back when. I'm like, Sledgehammer, you lost me. Like, I can't deal with this anymore. It's not fun. It's not enjoyable. You're wasting my time, is what I honestly felt like Sledgehammer was doing with a lot of their systems early on in Call of Duty Vanguard. And now that some of that stuff is fixed, and I praise them for, you know, adding in the DLC weapons where you don't have to do the challenges and things like that, that's really cool. But it's already too late. It's way too late. You knew going into it, this is a one-year game. And you also know going into it that every COD pretty much has like a 9-month lifespan, not even a full year, because as soon as that next game gets revealed, people stop caring about the current one, because they know nothing they're going to do in this game carries over. So they lost me a while ago, and now they're trying to, like, go back and fix all this stuff. It's too late. So Infinity Ward, we know we have a 2-year game coming up. We're all excited for it. But let's not have a situation where year 1 is just an extended beta that is just full of nonsense, and then year 2 is actually good. Let's not do that, because by the time year 2 rolls around, man, I'm telling you what, people aren't going to be there to play. They're not going to come back. If you lose them that early on, they're not going to go back. It doesn't matter what updates or anything like that. They may come back for a little bit and then immediately leave again. You know, you have to wow these people right from the very beginning. The launch window is so important. But these COD devs and Activision, like, everyone seems to act like the launch window is just like an extension of the beta, and it doesn't really matter how complete the game is or how good the game is or whatever, so long as people buy it. All right, so I guess that's it, guys. Again, I'm rambling a bit at this point. I apologize for that, but I hope you enjoyed this video. I saw the anime beatbox cat girl abomination, and I thought to myself, you know what? Let's fire up the old microphone. I got some stuff I want to say. So hope you guys all enjoyed. Leave your thoughts and feedback down there in the comments, and I hope you guys all have a wonderful day.